The sun hung low over the Arizona plains, bleeding orange light across the red mesas and dry creek beds. The land was quiet, except for the hiss of the wind through the yucca and the caw of a lone crow. Beneath a twisted mesquite tree, an Apache man hung bound to a stake, his wrists raw and bleeding from the tight ropes that bit into his skin. His name was Tajo, a proud warrior of the Chiricahua tribe. He had been ambushed by a band of white outlaws, men who hunted Apache like animals for bounty and revenge. They had taken his horse, stripped him of his weapons, and left him under the desert sun to die. The vultures circled high above, shadows gliding across his sunburnt face. His lips were cracked, his breath ragged, and though every muscle screamed to fight, the ropes held him cruelly still. But fate, strange as it was, had other plans that day. Miles away, a small wagon creaked through the valley. A man in a dusty hat held the reins. Henry Calloway, a settler who had lost almost everything to the war and was heading west for a new start. Beside him sat his daughter Lily, a little girl no more than 9. Her blue eyes wide with wonder at the wilderness around her. She had been born into hardship, her mother gone since her birth and her father hardened by loss. But still Lily carried a spark that the world hadn't dimmed. She loved the wind, the sky, and the stories her father told her about courage. When the wagon wheel cracked on a rocky bend, Henry climbed down to repair it, leaving Lily to wander nearby. "Don't go far," he warned, but curiosity tugged her feet where reason could not. Following a trail of broken sagebrush, Lily came upon something that froze her small heart. A man, half dead, tied beneath a tree. She gasped, clutching her chest. The man's dark eyes lifted weakly to her, wary and weary. "Water," he rasped. Lily hesitated, remembering her father's warnings about Indians, but the sight of his cracked lips and trembling hands softened her fear. She ran back, grabbed her canteen, and returned. Carefully, she lifted it to his lips. Tajo drank greedily, his throat working with gratitude. "Thank you, little one," he murmured in broken English. "Who are you?" Lily asked timidly. "Tajo," he whispered, voice fading. "They leave me for death." Lily looked around, nervous. She didn't understand everything, but she knew pain when she saw it. The ropes looked cruel, tight as iron. "I'll help," she said. She pulled her small knife, her father's gift, from her pocket and began sawing at the thick cords. Her hands shook, but she didn't stop. As she worked, the wind shifted, bringing a sound that made her blood run cold, a low growl. Then, from the edge of the brush, a massive grizzly bear lumbered into sight, its fur bristling, its nose twitching toward the scent of blood. Lily froze, the knife slipping from her fingers. The bear rose onto its hind legs, towering like a nightmare against the crimson sky. Tajo's eyes widened in alarm. "Run!" he croaked, but Lily didn't move. The bear thundered forward, paws pounding the earth, its roar shaking the air. Something fierce awoke inside her then, something wild and brave. Grabbing the knife, she stepped in front of Tajo, trembling but unyielding. "Go away!" she screamed. The bear snarled, lunging closer, its massive head swinging toward her. At that moment, Tajo twisted with every ounce of strength he had, snapping the final strand of rope. He fell forward, seizing the broken branch at his feet. With a shout, he thrust it into the bear's path. The beast swung its paw, slashing Tajo's arm open, but he didn't stop. He stabbed again, forcing the bear back. Lily scrambled for rocks, hurling them at the monster with desperate fury. "Leave him alone," she cried, tears streaking her dirt-smeared face. The bear reared back to strike again, but Tajo drove the sharpened stick into its chest. The beast roared in pain, stumbled, and finally lumbered away, disappearing into the darkening woods. Silence fell, broken only by Lily's sobs and Tajo's heavy breathing. Blood dripped from his arm, but he was alive and free. He looked at her, awe and gratitude softening his hardened features. "You saved me," he said quietly. "You brave like mountain spirit." Lily sniffled, managing a faint smile. You were going to die, she whispered. I couldn't just leave you. Tajo nodded slowly. Heart strong, spirit pure, he murmured. You little but mighty. When Henry returned and saw the scene, his daughter beside a wounded Apache warrior, he drew his rifle, shouting, "Step away from her!" Lily leapt between them, shouting back, "No, Papa, he's not bad. He saved me from the bear." Henry's aim faltered, confusion warring with anger. He saw the blood, the broken ropes, the sincerity in his daughter's tearful eyes. Tajo raised his hands weakly. "I mean no harm," he said. "She saved my life." For a long moment, the only sound was the creak of the wind. Then Henry lowered the rifle. "You're bleeding," he muttered gruffly. "Come on, we'll get you to the wagon." That night, under the wide desert sky, Henry cleaned Tajo's wounds by the campfire while Lily watched. The Apache spoke little, but his gaze lingered, on the stars, as though whispering prayers to the spirits of his ancestors. When morning came, Tajo insisted on leaving. "My people and wait. I go home," he said. But before he did, he knelt before Lily. "Little warrior," he said softly, "you give life back to me. One day, I repay." He pressed a carved pendant of turquoise and bone into her small hand. For courage. Then he vanished into the rising dawn like a shadow melting into light. Years passed. The story of that day became a legend whispered across the valley, of a girl who faced a bear to save a dying Apache. But fate wasn't done weaving their paths. One brutal spring, when settlers were attacked by raiders in the canyon, Henry and Lily, now grown, were among those trapped. As gunfire echoed through the night, a familiar figure appeared on the ridge, Tajo, older, his hair streaked with silver, leading a group of Apache warriors who fought off the raiders and drove them away. When the smoke cleared, he approached Lily, his eyes filled with recognition. "Debt paid," he said quietly. Lily's fingers went to the old pendant still hanging from her neck. Tears filled her eyes. "You didn't owe me anything," she whispered. "Spirit remembers," he said simply. "You save Apache heart that day. I never forget." As the sun rose over the canyon, painting gold across the cliffs, Tajo and Lily stood together, two souls bound by courage, not by blood, but by the kind of honor that transcends all walls. It wasn't about color, tribe, or past. It was about humanity, about the simple truth that sometimes the smallest heart can change the largest fate. And if you're listening to this story now, remember, bravery doesn't live in size or strength. It lives in the choice to stand when fear says run. So if this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more tales of courage, hope, and the spirit of the Wild West, where legends are born from the hearts of ordinary souls. Every story shared keeps their legacy alive, so hit that bell and ride with us into the next adventure.